Healthy Scratch Red Wings Report, presented by 5v5hockey.com.
Yo, welcome back to the Healthy Scratch Red Wings Report. It's Buschy with you once again. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more Red Wings content. I'm piggybacking off my last video. How fun is it to watch the Detroit Red Wings right now? I haven't felt like this in a long time. They've been so bad for so long, and now they've been on this uptick. And we're finally at a point where watching, now it's the first 6 games, but watching these guys is so much fun. And all the new additions we've had come in have been working out pretty damn well, I will say. And I was at the game the other night when Alex DeBrincat scores a hat trick. Calgary did not look good, but I honestly think it's a combination of Calgary's not really that good and they probably should rebuild. But Detroit, I think, is that good. And they're playing with such intensity where their puck retrievals, the number one thing that I have found with the Red Wings, and maybe you guys have too, puck retrievals. They play heavy. Their forecheck, more often than not, is turning pucks over. They're getting a stick on it, or there's a pass hitting a shin pad, and they're turning it back the other way and causing a lot of problems in the offensive zone. And that's really nice to see because the Red Wings of old would just let the other team come right into their end. The forecheck would be non-existent. They'd back up and try to have them play perimeter, and a skilled team is going to kill you doing that. The way they've been playing has been really, really impressive. The Little Caesars Arena atmosphere right now has probably been the best, It's been the best that it's been even since the opening night back in 2017. Like, this building is loud. The Let's Go Red Wings chants are coming back, like, a lot. Now, I mean, when they weren't that good, we never really heard them that much. You know, the fan experience is there. Alex DeBrincat, let's talk about this guy again. I mean, the Ottawa game, granted, I mean, he didn't score, but the Red Wings won. He's a positive part of that game. Against Calgary, this guy couldn't miss. I mean, he had 3 goals. I think it was the first time that his little son was at a game, so kind of neat that he scored 3 goals. But the team as a whole, like that first line, here's what's getting lost in the shuffle. Dylan Larkin and Alex DeBrincat are playing at an elite level right now. They're leading the league in points. When's the last time we had somebody in a Red Wings jersey leading the league in points? If I had to hazard a guess, if someone wants to look it up, I haven't. I would say Robert Lang back in 2004, but when they traded for him from the Washington Capitals, I can't really think of another time that there was a Red Wing, 5-6 games into the season leading the league. Now, is that going to hold up? Probably not. I'm still looking at this regression towards the mean, which is where these guys should be. Now, DeBrincat is on a 141 goal pace. He will sizzle off at one point. He'll cool down. Larkin is an elite playmaker right now. He scored yesterday too. What a nice bar down goal. I was actually at the game with my mom, and she even says, watching the replay, how did he get that puck in that spot? And we're watching the slow-mo replay, and there's a little puck-sized hole, and he hits the bar in it. Beautiful shot. But with Alex DeBrincat being a shooter, those two, when we did our lines before the season, we always had Larkin and DeBrincat together. I think it's just something that you can never break these guys up. Lost in the shuffle is Lucas Raymond. Now, he hasn't scored that much. He's got 1 goal this year, I'm pretty sure. But there are a lot of chances that he has. And in the last video, I talked about it. We need him to bear down and score some of these chances. And I will echo that. It still needs to happen. But he's setting up a lot of these plays, and he's not getting a lot of recognition for it. Larkin and DeBrincat are, but Lucas Raymond is quietly an awesome member of that line. And I would not break those guys up. I think keeping Raymond with those guys, he will start to score. And here's the reason. Eventually, and now teams still are going to key on Larkin and DeBrincat, and they're still playing at an elite level, which is nice to see. But at one point, if there is a game where they're going to get shut down, which will happen, Lucas Raymond's going to have to be the guy that's going to jump up and make these other teams pay. And I really think he will. Defensively, Jake Wallman got his first goal, absolute laser beam from the point. Mo Seider still looking pretty good with all the little moves he does at the blue line. And what I have seen with some of these defensemen, Seider and actually Gostisbehere were the two that I saw do it multiple times in the game against the Flames, was just breaking up passes in the neutral zone where they would just anticipate the play and would jump right in front. Seider did it 3 or 4 times. Gostisbehere did it a couple. Shane Gostisbehere has been an awesome addition to this team so far. He's got a 1-year deal. If I was Steve Yzerman, I would extend him. Probably not right now, but you get towards the deadline. If the season goes the way that it is going right now, I think you extend this guy. He's a pretty good part of that team, especially on the power play, running 2 defensemen rather than just the single defenseman. I think it opens up a lot more options in that power play in the offensive zone. And even when they're breaking out, right? You have 2 defensemen that know how to move the puck, that are offensive minded, but also have the defensive awareness and capability to get back if something goes wrong. So the secondary scoring is there too. Joey Poison, gets his 3rd of the season. I think he only had 6 goals last year, so it took him 6 games to go half. So hopefully he keeps it up. Obviously went in off his ass, but we'll take it. They don't ask how, they ask how many. And James Reimer played really well. I mean, he let in 1 goal against Sharangovich, which, I saw it going. I went, he probably should have had that one. I thought maybe it hit Sider's stick. I don't think it did. I think it was just a weird spot for him. Some of those are going to go in. He is our backup. I'm really wondering what they're going to do with Alex Lyon at this point, because I think Reimer, with the 2 starts he's had with the shutout and only letting in 2 goals, I think he's already at the point where he's kind of proving like he can do this if we really need him. So I think it's going to be hard to really mix Alex Lyon in. Maybe he gets a game here or there, but on these back-to-backs, you're going to get Husso and then Reimer. I don't know if it's worth holding Lyon for a roster spot. So, what do you guys think? Should we put him on waivers and risk losing him for nothing? Or do you think he would clear and go down to Grand Rapids, and now we're in a really, really good position, and so are the Griffins, right? Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot to say other than, man, it feels damn good that Red Wings hockey is back, man. And they're 5-1 right now. They're at the top of the league now. If Boston could lose finally, that would be awesome. But who do you think the teams are that would fall out if the Red Wings keep playing like this? And they're not going to be this hot the whole season. They will go through some ups and downs, hopefully more ups than downs, right? Who are going to be the teams that fall out? Because right now it looks like Tampa Bay might be in a little bit of trouble. Are the Senators as good as we thought they were? Is Buffalo going to bounce back? Because they have had a bad start to the year too. Those are the 3 teams that I had grouped together, and Detroit's at the top of those 3 right now. And I think Detroit is putting the league on notice. Hey, you guys are discounting all of these players. How about we quietly talk about Justin Hall leading the league in plus-minus? Kyle Dubas, who's now with the Penguins, was with the Maple Leafs as a manager, liked a tweet from Bardown on TSN of Justin Hall being +9 and leading the league. I thought that was kind of interesting because Leafs fans just totally wrote the guy off. And he's proven to be a serviceable NHL defenseman. I think they're going through a little bit of a rotation with Hall and Petrie and maybe even Oli Mata, where he was scratched one game, but I don't think it had anything really to do with his play. He's been very, very solid for the Red Wings. And hey, I'll admit it, my reaction, absolutely wrong. And I'll eat it. That's something where I think a lot of people felt that way and just had this kind of Toronto Maple Leafs kind of poison in us, where we've heard so much about how bad Justin Hall was. He's looking like he's pretty good right now. Now, hopefully these big moments that come up, he'll be just as good and he'll be solid. But putting him in like a 3rd-line role, which is what I thought the Leafs should have done, they're doing with Justin Hall. They're putting him in situations where he's going to be successful. He doesn't have to be the one that's in the spotlight in a top 4 role. He doesn't have to do that. He can just play and kind of honestly blend into the background. I don't notice him that much, and that's really good for like your 3rd pair defense. If you're not really noticing that much, all good. I'll take that. So what do you guys think? Pretty damn good start by the Red Wings. 5-1 at the top of the Atlantic with Boston, who are 5-0, but they have it with the tiebreaker of having less games. Alex DeBrincat leading the league in goals and points. Larkin is up there in points. Justin Hall leading plus-minus. Everything is going right now for the Red Wings. Is there any players that you want to see more from? Is there any players that are playing better than you thought they would? And even like with call-ups, Jonathan Berggren, he played his first game against Calgary. Didn't play that much, didn't make that much of an impact. Do you want to see a little bit more from him? He's obviously in a 4th-line role, which is kind of what he was doing last year, so maybe just needs a few games under his feet, and we'll see what Johnny Burgers can do. Would be really nice to have some more scoring in that bottom 6. Before we go, let's talk about Comfer Rasmussen. Max Bultman of The Athletic had an interview where he was talking about how those 3 guys wanted to play against the Sidney Crosby line in Pittsburgh as a shutdown line. I totally respect that. Like, that is kind of a boss move, if you want to be honest, because they did shut them down. And Detroit won that game. So I really do like Comfer and Rasmussen together. A little bit of grit, but they also have all a little bit of like an offensive capability, especially Comfer and even Rasmussen with that big body. So they're playing really well defensively. I really like the lineup right now. I don't think Lalonde's going to make any changes, obviously, because they're doing really, really well. The coaching has been good. The power play is like 50%, which is a coin flip. The PK's been good. There's really not a lot to complain about. And if there is, it's something that we're nitpicking. Goal horn sounds awesome. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about is the goal horn. I know we were talking earlier about, the Joe Louis Arena horn is back. I think it was a little bit... I don't want to say that. It's not the word slimy. We'll say disingenuous of the Red Wings marketing team to say that the Joe Louis Arena horn is back. It's not. It sounds like the Florida Panthers horn, which is totally fine. I like it. It's a little bit different. I feel like if you want to be a big snob about it, they could tweak it to make it sound like Joe Louis, but I'm fine with the way it is. It's a new arena. It's a new team, new era, let's say. And I'm totally fine with the way it is. And when I heard it for the first time, I was like, wow, that sounds pretty damn good. It's loud. And it's a new thing. And I'm okay with it. And we had the Joe for a long time. We'll leave the goal horn there. I know the Hockey Town logo is another thing that people want. I think we're leaving up the Joe. Just like we're leaving the troughs in the men's bathrooms, which is the one thing I would bring back. Because that was fun, okay? And don't crap in the face of fun. So, Red Wings are 5-1. What do you think? Leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already. I like to upload at least once a week or when the Red Wings are playing if I can get out here and talk to you guys. So it's been fun so far. Let's go Red Wings. Until the next time, see you later.